first reconstructions of all tugboats, smaller ships, labor or trade ships, even all fishing boats into modern luxurious yachts took place in the mid-20th century. Such boats have always caused heads to turn. Numerous boat builders have developed their new models based on the lines of these well-known classic boats and adjusted them to modern times. In the same way, Monachus 45, the firstborn of the boatyard bearing the same name, was designed according to lobster, a typical American boat used for crab catching. Typical labor lobsters are 5 to 15 meters long, with engines of 30 to over 900 horsepower. The fastest ones could reach the speed of nearly 50 knots. They are recognizable for a rather vertical tall bow, wider sides, low cabin, and then emphasis above cabin space that protects the crew from the wind and waves. Another characteristic is a wider free labor space at the stern. The purpose of these boats demanded speed, safety and stability. Monachus has got a tall bow but not so vertical as in classic lobsters, and the hull widens up towards the deck, but the emphasis deep V of the underwater part is distinct and the bow itself. Her entire underwater part of the hull has been knowingly strengthened. The deck is at its widest in the bow, getting more narrow towards the stern. The hull sides in the bow area open up upwards. Around the middle of the boat are vertical, while at the stern around the entire cockpit are effectively rounded. Altogether, one might get an impression that the hull has been put together from two different boats. In the underwater part from the labor boat, the above water part from yacht. The spacious stern area has been divided into two parts, cockpit and stern platform. Between them are two large lockers for extra equipment. In comparison with other lockers, these cockpit ones can easily be labeled as cabins for storing equipment. Slanting and rounded stern mirror opens up an incredible space beneath the stern seats. In order to reach something from the bottom of the locker, it is necessary to literally get inside of it. Similar extra space cannot be found at yachts distinctly exceeding the length of 14 meters. Bow locker is not far from this size either. As bow deck is pretty wide, there are two large hatches. In the middle part beneath the anchor winch there is a drum into which the chain is wound, while the space around it is more than sufficient for storing all the fenders and ropes. We might say that Monachus 45 is a yacht intended for specific clientele, for those who seek a special and in many ways a custom-made yacht. And that is easily fulfilled in Shipyard Monachus, since they are determined to keep the production in a semi-custom-made fashion.